Today we'll be continuing the yesterday's class. So yesterday I told you from Ohm's law, V by I is a constant. So this constant we have just wrote our letter called R, which R is called
resistance.
Resistance of the conductor. Resistance of the conductor, right?
Yeah.
Fine. We'll define what is this resistance again. For example, we have seen a wire. So when I just apply a voltage through a battery, what happens? Charges starts flowing from where? From negative to positive. This is current direction, sorry. This current direction. Charges starts flowing from negative to positive. Charges starts flowing from negative to positive. This charges, what happens is, this conductor, if it is purely conductor, it has to allow all the charges, right?
Yeah.
So whatever charges are coming from the battery, it has to allow all the charges. So there should be no any kind of blockage or there no any kind of opposition. But on this earth, there is no conductor is pure. In such a way, we don't find any conductor. That means there is no any conductor which allows all the electrons to flow through it. There is some kind of property of the conductor which opposes the flow of charges. That property is called as resistance of the conductor. Resistance of the conductor. So resistance of the conductor is nothing but the property of the conductor to oppose the flow of charges. Oppose the flow of charges. So definition states, so the resistance is the property of the conductor to resist flow of charges through it. So resistance is nothing but the property of the conductor, is a property of the conductor to resist the flow of charges through it. Down Ohm's law in textbook, down the Ohm's law, the last line they have given. It is the property of the conductor to resist the flow of charges. Last line. Can you find? Can you find?
No.
Huh?
No.
See, you can find Ohm's law, right, in your textbook?
Yeah.
Down the same page, down the last para. Last para, last second line. The property of the conductor to resist the flow of charges. It is continued to the next page also. Okay, fine, leave. You can later you can read that. So now just look onto the screen. The resistance is nothing but the property of the conductor to resist the flow of charges. That means you already know that in conductors, so the nucleus, the electrons revolves around the sun. In the valency shell, you know valency shell, right?
No.
You know valence electrons. What are valence electrons?
Not sure.
What are valency electrons? Tell me, what are valency electrons?
What?
The electrons which present in the outermost shell. What are electrons? Valency electrons?
The
Electrons in outermost shell. You have studied in chemistry.
Yeah.
In 9th standard only. In chemical equations, you have studied about electronic configuration and all. Valency you have studied. The electrons in the outermost. these electrons only starts drifting. Okay, this movement of these electrons, the electrons in the outermost shell, these starts drifting, that means moving. This results electricity. Understood?
Yeah.
So why conductors conduct is because the electrons in the outermost shell are loosely bounded. They are loosely bounded. There is no any kind of bounding force. What is the bounding force? The nuclear force is the bounding force in electron. Those force is loose or weak. So these electrons starts moving. So this movement of electrons is nothing but current, electric current. So that is why conductors conduct electricity, because of the free electrons available in the valence shell. Understood?
Yeah.
Understood?
Yes.
So now resistance, we know these electrons which are moving on the conductor starts blocking. For example, in insulator, let me take. In insulator, that means let me take a plastic. Okay, I give 100 electrons. I give 100 electrons input. Output, I get only 10 electrons. What about the 90 electrons? They are blocking by this plastic.
Yeah.
Got it? So then obviously
Yeah.
plastic will have more resistance. Plastic will have more resistance. The same way, other example I take, I have copper plate. I am giving same 100 electrons, but I get 90 electrons output. So what I can say, copper plate has
It is not
less
resistant.
resistance, right? Understanding.
Yes.
So what you understood by these two examples? Tell me.
Plastic has more resistance, and
Why it has more resistance?
because it's an insulator.
It's not that issue, sir. Like later, because of that only it is called insulator. Why? It is blocking the charges, right?
Yes.
How much charges? Example, I have taken 100 electrons are being sent through the plastic. That is, input is 100 electrons, but output how much I am getting?
10 electrons.
10 electrons. Then obviously it offers what? More resistance. More resistance. So resistance is nothing but what is happening? It is blocking of something. Resistance is nothing but in English meaning. Let me talk with in English. English resistance is something blocking, right? Avoiding. In electricity chapter, we are talking about resistance, means it is resisting what? Your charge carriers. What are charge carriers? In place it may be a positive charge carriers or negative charge carriers, right?
Yes.
Understood?
Yeah.
So what is copper? Metals.
Yeah.
Metals have less resistance, or in case if I have to tell in general, conductors will have what?
Less resistance.
Insulators will have
More resistance.
Insulators will have more resistance, so they don't conduct electricity, whereas metal conduct electricity because they have less resistance. Understood?
Yeah.
Understood?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So we have defined what is resistance. Write down what is resistance. Write the definition.
I wrote it.
Resistance is the property of a conductor, or you just write a conductor. A conductor to oppose or resist the flow of charge through it. Understood?
Yeah.
So this was concept introduced as kind of contributions to give contributions to Ohm, scientist Ohm. Okay, we have the SI unit of resistance to be SI unit of resistance is ohm. SI unit of resistance is ohm. It is represented by a Greek letter. Represented by a Greek letter. I have shown in the screen, right? So what is the SI unit of resistance?
No,
Ohm.
this Greek letter.
Greek letter ohm. It's pronounced as ohm only. Okay.
Okay.
You have to write like this. Understood?
Yeah.
So all SI units, what we have learned. What is the SI unit of charge?
Q. I mean,
Charge.
Coulomb.
Coulomb. What is the SI unit of current?
Ampere.
Ampere. What is the SI unit of potential difference?
Volt.
Volt. We have studied volt. Now we have studied SI unit of what?
Resistance.
Resistance. What is the SI unit of resistance?
Ohm.
Ohm. So Coulomb is represented as capital C, capital A, capital V, and this symbol is different. Understood?
Yeah.
Understood? Ohm, see, resistance represented as symbol, Greek letter. But these all are represented by the first letter of their name. Understood?
Yes.
Understood? Any doubt?
No.
Any doubt in resistance?
No.
Fine. Now we'll define 1 unit resistance. 1 unit. So what is 1 unit resistance? That is nothing but 1 ohm. 1 ohm. From the Ohm's law, I have R is equal to V by I, no? Huh?
Yeah.
V by I, no?
Yeah.
So in this formula, R will become 1 ohm if V is equal to 1 volt and current I is equal to 1 ampere. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Understanding?
Yes.
So R will become 1 ohm if V is equal to 1 volt and I is equal to 1 ampere. So I can write the resistance. The resistance of the conductor is said to be 1 ohm if 1 volt, if a potential difference of, if a potential difference of 1 volt across the ends of the conductor, across the ends of the conductor, which makes a current of 1 ampere flowing through it. So this is the definition of 1 ohm. So what is 1 ohm? The resistance of the conductor is said to be 1 ohm if a potential difference of 1 volt across the ends of the conductor, which makes a current of 1 ampere flowing through it. Understood? Understood? Understood?
Yes.
Potential difference of 1 volt makes a current of flowing 1 ampere, then we call resistance as
1
what?
ohm.
Ohm. 1 ohm. Understood?
Yeah.
Write down SI unit of resistance and write down definition of 1 ohm. Make it fast. So down, you have to write this. So we know the formula. R is equal to V by I. R will be 1 ohm if 1 volt by 1 ampere current is flowing. This can also implies that 1 ohm is equal to 1 volt by 1 ampere. So 1 ohm is also equivalent to 1 volt per ampere. Got it?
Yeah.
Got it?
Yes.
Yesterday we have seen 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb per second. 1 volt is equal to 1 joules per coulomb, and 1 ohm is equal to 1 volt per ampere. All these are very important for 1 mark. Understood?
Yeah.
All these are important. Till now we have learned 4. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So now we will solve some problem. One problem.
I
You
didn't
have
copy
written.
this.
You have not copied.
No.
Definition of 1 ohm.
No.
Define 1 ohm. This is the answer. Done?
Yeah. 1 minute.
Make it fast.
Yeah.
Okay. So write down the problem. The potential difference between the ends of the conductor is Length of the conductor is 75 volt when it draws a current of 0.5 ampere from the source what current will the conductor draw with the potential difference is increased to 150 volts. The potential difference between the ends of the conductor is 75 when it draws a current of 0.5 ampere. From the source, what current will the conductor draw if the potential difference is increased to 150? Done? Done?
Yeah.
Fine. Here. In the question, there is a conductor. Oh, we have not seen the symbol, right? Symbol of resistance. Actually, okay, I'll just take a conductor only. Let me take some conductor. Bulb, let me take it. Later on, I'll discuss it. Connected to a source battery having 75 volts. And the current is flowing is 0.5 ampere. So what happens the current if the battery is increased to 150 volts? What will be I2? Here conductor is not changed. Conductor is same in both cases. Am I correct? Is
Yeah.
conductor changing? No. If in case conductor is same, resistance will be same. Remember this, sir. Resistance will be same.
Same.
When will be resistance same? If you don't
But-
change the conductor, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So in the first case, you have to find the resistance. In the second case, use this resistance and find I. Right? Got it?
Yeah.
Got it? So in case
Yes.
1, V they have given how much? I they have given 75 volts and I they have given as 0.5 ampere. Now I know R is equal to V by I, which will be equivalent to 75 by 0.5. 0.5 times 75 is 150 ohms. Got it?
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
So 0.5 can be written as 1 by 2, 2 goes off, 75 2 is 150. Now
Yeah.
for case 2, R will be equivalent to 150. Understood?
Yes.
And V they have given how much?
150.
150 volt. What is the SI unit of resistance?
Ohm.
Ohm. Now I have to find current. From Ohm's law, I will be equivalent to V by R. I is equal to V by R. So this same formula, I am sending, R I'm getting down to the denominator. Right? V I know 150 volt, and R I know how much?
150.
Oh, cancel. I will be how much then? 1
1
what?
ampere.
Ampere. Understood?
Yeah.
Understood? Understood?
Yes.
So
Yes.
if potential is increased to 150, what will be the current? What will be the current?
Sorry.
When potential is increased to 150 volts, what is the current now? What is
1
the current now?
1
New current.
ampere.
How much? How much I got?
1.
1 ampere. So therefore, current is increased to 1 ampere. Understood?
Yeah.
Copy down the answer first. Done?
Not done yet. Done.
Okay, fine. So next is the device which offers resistance. The device or the active component, we call the component which offers resistance. Resistance is called resistor. Is called as. So resistance is a phenomenon, property, and the device name is called as
Resistor.
resistor. And the symbol for the resistor is this. I have written on the screen. Got it?
Yeah.
Got it? And
Yes.
we have another one device called rheostat. Rheostat, or this is also called as variable resistor. That means you can vary the resistance how much you want. If you want like 1 ohm, 2 ohm, or let me take 100 ohm you need, or you need even 1000 ohm. So you can vary in one device only. That device is called as what? Rheostat. Rheostat.
Start.
And the symbol is this. There is a pointer. If you move this pointer, the resistance changes. So if pointer is moved, resistance changes. Understood? Understood?
Yeah.
Any doubt?
Yes.
Any doubt?
No.
No. So we have resistance. We have studied about resistance, right?
Yeah.
So resistance is material property. It's a material property. So we have factors which affect resistance of a conductor. For example, let me take an example of water flow. Water flow. Here, I have very small pipe, pipe 1, pipe 2, pipe 3, in which water will flow very easily.
Pipe 3.
Pipe 3. Why?
It's bigger.
R1, R2, R3. R3 is greater than R2, greater than R1.
Yeah.
So obviously, R increases means area increases. A3, A1, A2. Okay. So that means A3 is more than A2, more than A1.
Yeah.
So here, now more water can flow. Here, in the first thing, water is blocking no here.
Yeah.
Why? Because area is
Small.
less. Blocking means resistance is more. Resistance is more.
Okay,
Understood?
more.
Understanding? Resistance is more. Here, coming to this point, this pipe. Here also some water will block, but it will allow more water compared to that of pipe 1. Right?
Yeah.
You see third one. Third one will allow more water compared to that of 2 and 1 because its opening is more. Am I correct?
Yes.
So resistance of first pipe will be more, comparatively less than first pipe, and comparatively lower than first pipe and second pipe. Understanding?
Yeah.
So that means I can define that resistance depend upon area of cross section. It is inversely proportional. Inversely proportional. So first one is resistance is inversely proportional to area of cross section of the conductor. Understood? First one.
Yeah.
What is the first factor? Resistance depend upon?
1 second, sir. Someone is calling. Yeah, sir.
Yeah. Resistance depend upon what?
Cross and
First one.
area.
Area of cross section. Sorry. Cross section of what?
Conductor.
Conductor. Next, it also depends upon length of conductor. Length of conductor. It depends directly proportional. Directly proportional. That means that is resistance increases with increase in length of the conductor. So if length increases, resistance also
Okay.
increases. Third one, it depends upon material. So if it is insulator, what will be the resistance? More.
More.
Conductor,
Less.
less. So it depends upon the material also.
Yeah.
And fourth one, it depends upon temperature. It depends upon temperature. For example, electrons are there in a conductor moving. I increase the temperature. Due to thermal kinetic energy. Okay, when I increase the temperature, degree of hotness will increase.
Yeah.
Degree of hotness increases, the electrons gains what? What?
Heat.
Kinetic energy. It gains kinetic energy. Through heat, it gains kinetic energy.
Yeah.
Through heat, what is kinetic energy? What's kinetic energy? Energy gained by motion of a body.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
Yes.
So due to kinetic energy, electron starts hitting the walls of the conductor. They never move, but they keep on like wandering like this. Okay. So electrons will not move. So temperature is also inversely proportional. Sorry, temperature is also directly proportional to resistance. If more the temperature, more is the
Resistance.
what? Resistance. More is the resistance. Understood? Four
Resistance.
properties.
Yeah.
Understood?
Yeah.
Understood. So the question reads, on what factors does the resistance of the conductor depend on? They'll ask like this. So first one, answer. Resistance of the conductor depend on A, length of the conductor, B, area of cross section of the conductor, C, nature of material of the conductor. D, temperature. Understood? Understood?
Yeah.
Understood?
Yeah.
So this is L, A, okay, length of the conductor. By above, we can write a formula. Resistance is directly proportional to L. Resistance is inversely proportional to 1 by A. So combining this, I can write resistance is directly proportional to L and inversely proportional to A. So this, to remove this proportionality constant, I can say R into A by L is a constant. Is a constant. Got it? How you got? Cross multiplied A and bring L to the denominator. Understood?
Yeah.
Understood?
Yeah.
So this constant R by A by L is called as rho. RHO, rho. Understood?
Yeah.
Understood?
Yeah.
So this rho is called as resistivity. This rho is called as resistivity of the conductor. Understood?
Yeah.
Understood?
Yes.
So on what factor does the resistance of the material depend upon?
Depends upon the length of the conductor, area of cross section of the conductor, then nature of the material of the conductor, and temperature.
So what is the formula I have then? So therefore I can write a formula like this. So R is equal to rho L by A. Rho L by A. Got it?
Yes.
Got it?
Yeah.
Any doubt?
No.
No. Fine. So copy down this formula. We'll define what is resistivity.
None.
Done. Any doubt?
No.
Okay, fine. Next is resistivity. Here, resistivity, we have another name for this resistivity. That is name is called as specific resistance. Specific
Resistance.
So what is the other name for resistance? Resistivity?
Specific resistance.
Specific resistance. So from above formula, R is equal to rho L by A. Rho L by A. If R will be equivalent to rho if length of the material is 1 meter and area of cross section of the conductor is 1 meter square. Got it?
Yeah.
R will be equivalent to rho if length of the conductor is how much?
1 meter.
And A is equal to?
1 meter square.
If you substitute 1 and 1, 1 get cancelled, or it's not, no use at all. 1 by 1 is 1 only. So 1 into anything is the same thing you get. So R will be equivalent to rho. Understood?
Yeah.
Understood?
Yes.
So I can define resistivity as it is the resistance of a conductor of unit length and unit cross sectional area. Understood?
Yeah.
Understood?
Yes.
So what is resistivity? It is the resistance of a conductor. That conductor should be what? That conductor should be of what?
Unit length.
And
unit cross-sectional area.
Area. So that if I take a conductor, what is the length should be? 1 meter, and area of cross section should be 1 meter square. Then R will be equivalent to rho. Understood?
Yeah.
Right on. And resistivity, specific resistance is a material property. Okay. That means, for example, it is same for any material. For example, here materials, so I resistivity is there. So we have a I resistivity in order to 10 to the power of 12 to 10 to the power of 17 ohm meter, and we have low resistivity also. It's a range from 10 to the power of -8 to 10 to the power of -6 ohm meter also. Here we will find the SI unit of resistivity. Rho will be equivalent to R A by L. Already we have defined, no?
Yeah.
Formula. You send to the numerator and L to the denominator. I get rho will be equivalent to R A by L. What is the SI unit of resistance? Ohm. What is the SI unit of area? Meter square. What will be the SI unit of length? Meter. 1 meter gets cancelled. What is left over? What is left over? Ohm meter. So what is the SI unit of resistivity?
Ohm meter.
SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Understood?
Yeah.
Understood. So what is the SI unit of resistivity?
Ohm meter.
Ohm meter. What will be the highest resistivity? Resistivity is nothing but opposition to the flow of charges. Then obviously this will be of insulators.
Yeah.
More resistance. Then this will be of what? Metals. Metals, or they are also called as good conductors. Good conductors. Understood?
Yeah.
Understood?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So copy down. We'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow with mathematics, and later next week we'll complete this chapter.
So tomorrow classes will be at 8:30.
8:30. Yeah, from tomorrow it will be 8:15. 8:15. From 8:15 to 9:30.
Okay.
Okay. So you are not waking up early in the morning, it seems. Your mother told me.
Yeah.
So from tomorrow it is 8:15. So if 8:15 means you have to wake up at 7:30 and get ready by 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay. From tomorrow you have to wake up early.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Copy down. We'll stop the class for today. So you have to read whatever we have done till now.
Okay.
Done?
No.
All the essay units, all the formulas, all the definitions, very important. Read, keep on reading, revising. If you have any doubt, you can just ask me.
Okay.
From tomorrow it is fixed time. Okay, 8:15 to 9:30 every day I'll take.
Okay.
So tomorrow I'll complete of that real numbers, mathematics,
Yeah.
and I'll start with next chapter called polynomials.
Okay.
Just go through polynomials of 9th standard.
Huh?
Polynomials of 9th standard. In 9th standard, you add a chapter called polynomials. Just go through it. So we'll be starting, we'll complete off real numbers and we'll be starting with polynomials, right?
Yeah.
And just revise that real numbers part, finding HCF, LCM, and prime factors, and coming with proving that whether it is rational or irrational number. All those things, questions has to be solved. And today's homework is first question is Ohm's law. Okay, you should be thorough with Ohm's law, right?
Yeah.
In textbook you have a diagram for Ohm's law. There in activity part there is a diagram for Ohm's law. You have to draw the diagram of the circuit.
Okay.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
That diagram has to be drawn, and there is a graph below given.
Yes.
Yeah, that graph too has to be drawn. Okay, and then symbols you have, no? Symbols
Yes.
has to be drawn, and all the definition of current, definition of potential difference, definition of potential, definition of resistance, definitions of resistivity, and formula, and problems we have solved. There are some problems of current and voltage in the textbook. Can you find page number 2 only? You have some problems. Page number 2 of the chapter, you have some problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to solve those things. Understood?
Okay.
So that is the work for today. And this, on what factors does the resistance of the conductor depend upon? Very important and compulsory question. For sure question. Understood?
Yeah.
I'm going a bit slow because there is a lot of definitions. If I could have completed this in other 3 classes itself. But why I'm going slow is because you need not to end up in any confusions. Okay? Okay?
Yeah.
Once this chapter is done, the basic will be done. So I'll keep on going on. So now I'm taking slow. So I'm completing it slow. Only topic by topic I'm completing. So today I've completed only resistance. So tomorrow I'll be completing the concepts of resistance. Tomorrow I take half an hour. Every day half an hour physics will be there. Henceforth. Okay?
Yeah.
Fine. 1 hour maths I take, half an hour physics I take.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So thank you. We'll continue tomorrow.
Yeah.